I broke through the carbonate, that's how I got free. Jabba back off because there's no stopping me. Postmodern player, sample-tastic, flows ekphrastic. I get drastic, hey, watch the plastic. Yo, I name check and leave you drastic.
This is Spencer for The MacGuffin, and I'm joined by my friend and fellow filmmaker, Wonder Russell.
Hi, everyone.
We got a whole slew of things we're going to be conversating about today.
We have topics.
Where shall we begin? Why don't we give a little background about you?
Okay.
What's the Wonder story?
I was born.
That's going back.
I was gonna start doing the monologue from The Jerk, but that's probably not appropriate.
We don't want to rip off copywritten material here.
Are we gonna get in trouble with that?
Yeah, they'll never know.
Do you think they'll buy it if I say it?
Yeah.
I'm Wonder. I moved to Seattle about. When did I move to Seattle, Spencer?
I don't know.
I know you don't, but darn, that would be helpful. I think it was about 6 years now. 6 years ago now. And
maybe.
Give or take. And I slowly started getting into the film scene here in Seattle, which I was involved with a little bit with the last place I lived, where I'm not from. Big distinction, Spokane.
I need to make that clear.
Everyone asks me that, and I was like, no, I lived there very briefly. And then I escaped. Anyway, yeah, the Seattle film scene and theater scene, obviously so much bigger, so much more vibrant, so much more going on. And from there started getting involved in more film work, and then just produced my last two short films.
now you're taking control.
Now
of
I'm
your
a
own...
producer.
So let's start with the first one, Connect 2.
Yeah.
What is Connect 2? Why don't we lay the groundwork with that?
Connect 2 is a short film that I'm in and executive produced. It's basically the story of two women who are on a bus. Whitney is she's actually making her way back to a mental institution that she ran away from, and Lori is running away from her husband, who is it's hinted at the abusive relationship. She's leaving him, and it's in the middle of the night, and they're forced to share seats on this bus going God knows where, and it's the story of that confrontation leading to an unexpected friendship.
Sounds
all
like
in 15 minutes.
It sounds like the more believable version of Strangers on a Train. You know?
Yeah, it has that, like,
except there's no murder.
Planes, trains, and automobiles, or like when we were first putting it together, we talked about it like Thelma and Louise without the grisly ending.
Yeah,
sort of like the road movie, buddy movie for women, but minus Brad Pitt and minus the suicide. Is that bad?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel
like that's less marketable all of a sudden.
Blah. Worry about that later.
We're making art here.
Yeah, exactly. It's a beautiful film. Yeah, that's sort of interesting. One of the unique things about this is you funded the film on Kickstarter, right?
Yes. Well, we mostly did finishing funds on Kickstarter.
The rest out of your pocket?
Pretty much, yeah. And
the glory of being a producer.
The exciting thing about being a producer is you get to take on a lot of creative responsibility and set the tone for the project, and really basically be the responsible person for making everything happen. That also means that you pay all the bills.
So if you have complaints about Connect 2, you have to direct them to her as well.
Delete.
Yeah, that's rejected spam. Except the problem is you're everywhere.
Unless you're Mr. Spielberg.
Yeah.
That'll be like...
You're everywhere online, though. You're like on Twitter, you're on Facebook. I see you like all over the place.
Yeah.
You're a person who's able to get a hold of, online.
Yeah, I'm kind of out there. I really do live in public. I'm a hobo also. So
That's troublesome.
I took it to a new meta level.
It's good for me because I'm able to like ostrich it and bury myself and be like, I didn't get your email, but you're everywhere. People know that you're there.
Oh, but I had a server problem because I'm still on AOL.
Yeah, that'd be good. I know I met a person recently who said they're on dial-up still. I was like, wow, that exists.
My boyfriend still uses Excite mail. And
wow.
You can't imagine how often I mock him for that.
That's impressive.
Pretty much as I can.
So Connect 2, it's complete now.
It's out. It's on the festival circuit. Been in 4 festivals so far. We're waiting on a handful more.
Yeah, I saw. Did you actually submit it to 15 more?
Oh God.
Because I saw you just throw that figure out on Twitter at some point. I was like, wow. I wonder if that's true.
You probably don't want to know how many we've submitted to.
Really?
It's everyone has told me 1 in 10 is the ratio. And
it's tough, you know.
I'd say we're doing a little bit better right now than 1 in 10. We for sure are, because I don't think I've submitted to 40, but there's a lot, and I'm waiting on a lot more.
And it should be noted that it did play at Stiff.
Yay!
Caveat being said, it was programmed on its own merits, not because we're just fans of you in general. So yeah, it's tough. You know, festivals, I mean, I can only speak on the behalf of Stiff. Get a lot of submissions. I mean, Stiff got 450, 500, something like that this year. So it's really tough to say no to a lot of people. There are a lot of films that I'd love to say yes to, and we say yes to an exceedingly high number.
Yeah, you guys program.
We program over 150 films, and that is really high compared to most festivals. So if that gives you any sort of concept, most festivals probably have a really tough time picking who they want. So, you know, I mean,
yeah,
it's sort of
the smallest festival we've been in was actually a really, really great festival for us, and it was Mosaic LA Festival, and they only showed 6 films.
Wow,
in
that's
one night.
Great to be accepted to that one.
And I mean, so obviously they were very young in the new festival, but they did they put on an amazing night. I was completely blown away. But I asked them how many submissions they got, and they said like around 100. So
wow, that's very exclusive.
So yeah, so I was like, yay, you like us.
That's, one of the things, you know, we got to talk about though is Connect 2 is a short.
It is a short, and it's long for a short too. So it's kind of a gangly short.
That makes it tough to program too.
It's really hard.
What was your mindset, you know, in making a short? I mean, I have obviously made some shorts as well. Visitor in the Night, the MacGuffin short that's out there. We should note.
You should get that on Short of the Week. Is that Short of the Week?
I can put that on the MacGuffin anytime I want. You know, I don't know if there's the demand, but maybe I'll throw it out there.
Do it.
Shorts are a tough market because there is no market.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to make a short?
Because it's cheaper than a feature.
Yes. And you have to be a certain glutton for punishment, though, with shorts, though, because you know it's money you're never really going to recoup.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone really makes their money back with features either, unless they're really clever with it. And I think that if you're going to make a feature, you should be clever with it. You should be thinking about the end from the beginning. You should be thinking about your money back. And I mean, I am.
That's why the feature I will be making will be like the Pepsi, Diet Coke, Doritos.
That's why you're a Michael Bay apologist. You're like, whatever, he's paying the bills. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
It's a hardworking man.
It's true, you know. However you need to get it done. Now I'm literally gonna just like start putting like product placements everywhere.
Teen boys across America cannot be wrong.
Yeah.
Spencer.
If you are able to make money in film, I gotta give you props. Like that's the bottom line. Like if you are able to make a living, I envy you.
There's a point where it's like, well, a sustainable career. Maybe I do want to sell out.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Where do I go?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like,
you know, put my name on the list.
NASCAR driver and have like product logos all over me. That's like the future of the MacGuffin.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's cheaper, it's easier, I guess.
We also started with where the whole project came from was from a scene that I was doing in class with Lisa Levan, who is in the film and is the other lead, and it started kind of there as the germ of the idea because the scene was really compelling between these two characters who are atypical, especially for women auditioning for things. I can't tell you how many times I've got the sides where it's like variations on a supporting character of girlfriend or mouth breathing fat friend. I mean, I seriously have.
I believe.
I'm not kidding.
I believe.
And it's like wow, I have a great. I don't have a great anything, so and I mean that's fine.
It's challenging, I definitely understand the desire.
I mean, I get it, like it's fine, and I would love to be, the hot girl in some movie. I mean, come on. I'm like, it's not like I'm proud, but I'm not
this
gonna...
is sort of weird to talk about, but if I were to pick a female role, I would like, like the Kristen Wiig bridesmaids role.
Right?
Like, that's the one to shoot for.
And I think that that's like kind of an amazing thing that's happened only recently, where people are able to talk about women in leads in movies that are commercially successful, that are not romantic comedies, thanks to Bridesmaid. It's become like you're able to have that conversation, because before it'd be like what? Name a movie.
I was thinking about it, and it's sort of like, yeah, Bridesmaids definitely is a big player in that storyline, but you also got to give a shout out to Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, because I think both of them have been doing a lot the last few years.
They're awesome, but like, did you see that movie they made together?
Baby Mama.
Baby Mama. That was not good.
It was not good.
It wasn't.
But like, I found Date Night to be relatively amusing.
I love Date Night.
And so I 30 Rock and Parks and Rec have both been
love 30
fantastic.
Rock. I love Parks and Rec.
So
it's just hard. Yeah.
It's step, baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps. It's just that there's, in general, and I mean gross generalization, and maybe even just for where I'm at commercially with my age and my demographic and in Seattle, so all those caveats there just aren't like a whole lot of really great roles for me. So this was something that it was like, this is really fantastic. I get to really dig into something that's a really interesting character. The relationship between them is it's not typically seen. It's like a buddy movie for girls, and that's really
the question,
rad.
like, obviously, I'm sure you've been asked this before. Is this sort of like a prelude or a sort of a testing the waters for something like a feature? Is there some like bigger story that you could be telling there?
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, even originally, I think in general, yes, because I think that shorts are a great way to figure out what you're good at, what you're not good at, what you would do differently, who you want to work with, even, budgeting, keeping costs down, just like logistics things. So it's an incredible learning tool, making your own short. And yeah, I do want to make a feature. Like I have for a long time, but it's tough. Yeah, it's like I was like, okay, I want to, if I want to do it right. And so this is a really good way to kind of take a look at that. But also in a specific sense, we did talk about like, the short could be like the beginning of the feature that we would make.
So
I don't know if that'll happen.
Maybe if there's someone out there with a spare 200 grand sitting around, you could connect to the feature film.
Hell, I'm a good producer.
Yeah.
I'll make that bitch for 20 grand.
There you go.
You can keep the rest.
So in terms of connect to, where's their info on the interwebs that people can check out?
You can go to the interwebs. Right now we have a Facebook page. Facebook / of course, you need the .com in there.
It's gonna be all.
Okay, Facebook.com / follow through. Follow through is kind of a touchstone in the movie. It's something they keep coming back to about following through. How do you know if you're stopping or starting something? How do you know when you are pressing, when you should press on or you should quit? And that's kind of a topic for the character. So follow through is our custom URL.
And do you have Twitter or anything else for that?
Just me for the Twitter, really. I'm like the one who's always like,
you're trumpeting
I'm
it.
big pimping on there.
You do market it well.
You can look up our Kickstarter site too, because we do have like 20 some updates, and most of them are public.
Well, one of the things that I like, and I tell this to indie filmmakers a lot, coming from the festival side of things, is that you guys sort of made a trailer. I mean, you have a trailer for a short film, which is kind of a weird concept, but I like that. I mean, I think that's something that is immensely helpful as somebody, when I'm telling someone to go see a film, it's great, even if it's a short, to be able to be like, here's the trailer for it.
It's really important. I think for money, I think it's and it's like for Kickstarter site, like I just didn't feel comfortable asking for money for something that no one had seen.
I agree.
And with people that maybe they haven't seen like our work, they haven't seen Sam the director's work. I don't want to be like, no, I promise it'll be great. I want to make something that's really wonderful and then show them. And we did that also with the summer home. Maybe the next project I do, maybe I won't have to do that because I'm building, a reputation.
Yes. And we transition to the summer home, which is the new one.
Segway!
It's like, man, how Connect 2 was what? 3 months ago or something? 4 months ago?
No, we shot it in September,
Okay.
and the very end of September.
So
like the last
just
weekend.
the Kickstarter campaign was that
The
recent?
Kickstarter campaign was pretty recent. Well, it was this spring, and we did our first cast and crew screening, and it was done in February. So it was really quick.
So this, you're getting on to the next project, Summer Home. Also already been shot.
Yeah.
Now you're doing final funds again for that on
Kickstarter.
Which we'll put a little link down here for the
Sweet!
Kickstarter. If you would like to contribute, I've contributed. It looks like a really neat project. First thing that I personally will say in terms of what intrigued me about the project, besides you and all the other people
I'd love
I
to know because it's always interesting.
the red. You guys shot it on a red camera, and that is really unusual for a short film. I've seen a lot of beautifully shot shorts. I've seen like 5D Mark II.
Yeah, I think the 5 and the 7D are totally
very
killing
popular
the market right now.
But red is a very pricey thing to be shooting a short on.
Yes.
What was the backstory there?
Lucky as hell.
Sometimes luck pays off.
So basically, the backstory is our DP Ty Magoda, who is amazing. He's phenomenal. I cannot recommend him highly enough. He owns that camera.
Wow.
It's his.
Good person to know.
He does all his, he does, paid production stuff. That's his full-time job.
Wow.
So, Chris and Lindy Boosted, who are the directors of the Summer Home and collaborated with me on the script, they wanted to work with Ty. They kind of wanted to feel that out because they had met him a lot, and and it's just like you run in the same circles enough, and you're like, hey, you want to get a feel for working with someone, but maybe you're not ready to take the whole plunge on a feature where it's like, oh, we're gonna be working together for 6 months. It's gonna be terrifying. You know what I mean? It can be. So I mean those were just things in both their heads, and
I mean I would also imagine just trying out the red camera would be an experience you want, because that's a very, I hate to say difficult workflow, but it's not quite as easy.
It's not nearly as user friendly, and I mean you really have to have someone like Ty who's really intimately familiar with the camera and the way it reacts, and he's also damn good at setting up lights and just is very intuitive about where those go.
Sounds like a good person to know.
Yeah, Ty's invaluable. So
Summer Home backstory. What is it? Why would people want to spend money on this besides the awesome red camera?
There's so many different ways I could go into this. We wanted to make, I wanted to make a short film that was almost the opposite of Connect 2. Connect 2 is very dialogue driven. It's talking about this relationship, but it's much more, it originated from a scene of two people talking on a bus. It was a talking head scene. And I wanted to do something that was a lot more visceral and from the gut, and was about people that already had an established relationship, so they don't, that getting to know you dialogue doesn't have to happen. And you come at them in a very, in what they call an emergent situation, it's a time is of the essence. Here they are, they're in a crisis. How do they deal with it? How do they get through it? And how does it change them? And I wanted to write something that was just very kind of like a sucker punch. It was just gonna hit you and
But not like the actual movie Sucker Punch.
No. Although, if you wanted to be our executive producer or something, I could dress up with lollipops or something. I don't know. That's all I've seen on the, pigtails. I don't know. I've only seen the poster. I don't know.
I don't know. It probably would make a lot of money, but I don't know if that's necessarily the way to market the film.
Yeah, let's not do that. So, I think it's at least for me, it's an interesting return to filmmaking where it's extremely visually driven. It has a lot of suspense. There's a kind of there's a component that's kind of like a thriller component that we don't want to really talk about. We don't want to reveal too much about what happens in the story, but there definitely is there's a theme running through the story that I think is going to strike a lot of people. And
and when is that going to be all wrapped up and off to festivals or wherever?
We're actually shooting for Sundance, so
so you got another 4
couple
months?
Yeah, so I think it's early September. So we're
September, October, I believe.
We're starting post-production here in the next week or so. kind of just going ahead of the Kickstarter campaign just because of everyone else has a bunch of projects coming up in the fall.
Sweet. And websites, Twitters, anything for that one as well?
Facebook.com The Summer Home. Also, if you look at the Kickstarter link, you'll be able to see the trailer. That's it's not really a trailer. It's a prelim trailer. We also call it like the beauty reel or the mood reel for the summer home, and it kind of hints at the story without giving it away. But it really shows how beautiful the camera work is. It shows the characters. It shows the location is definitely. We wanted it to be its own character. It's all most of it takes place in this like empty vacation house that's sitting empty on the water, and how these two homeless people come into it and start playing house. Really.
If it can be as awesome as Tuif by Sea, that Sandra Bullock movie, yeah. If it could be that awesome, then you've already won me over.
Please let it be.
Because that film, absolute gold.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's awesome. People, if they want to flame you or ask information or contribute, where can they come to you?
You can find me at wonderrussell.com. You can find me at facebook.com/BellaWonder, also twitter.com/BellaWonder. It's kind of my handle. And BellaWonder.com is my new WordPress blog I just set up that I need to link to my site.
Yes.
I haven't got around to that part
This
of it
is
yet.
cutting edge breaking news right here before everyone else knows. Yes.
Sign up. I'm working on the whole constant contact
Awesome.
email list. So, yeah, those are all the best places. I'd say hit me up on Twitter. I like people
You are on
talking
Twitter
to me on
all the time. Fantastic. And I guess we should say, what's next? What is the next thing for you?
For me personally, I just got signed on to a web series today called The Collectibles.
Yes,
by
I saw
Todd
you
Downey.
tweeting about that already.
I did. Who's done a lot of work in the community. He's great. And I have one of the lead roles in a feature film we're shooting in September. That's also it was written and directed by. It will be directed by Chris and Lindy Boosted. And. And that's called This Is Ours. And I just got the script for that. I've been on board for that project for a while.
Yeah.
And I got the script for that this morning. And it's awesome.
Well, fantastic. Hopefully we'll hear more about that as that progresses. And check out the Summer Home and connect too. And contribute to the Summer Home.
That would be cool. Or just say hi.
Money well spent. We'll see you next time.
All
and
right.
you can check out MacGuffinPodcast.com because I'm sure we'll have more information on there as things progress.
T-1000 can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. Magneto can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. Even Zod can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. It's tight. Don't even try to bite the side of style. Mr. Spock can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. The Wrath of Khan can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. The Borg can't stop me. I'm on fire tonight. Because I've got space game and it feels alright.